guys, hit the subscribe button below and that little bell if you want notifications every time I upload. The first thing I'm doing is putting in some hydrating eye drops. You can use any brand to do this. You just want to lubricate your eye before you put those contacts in. The brand I got was called Crazy Contact Lenses. To put in the contacts, I lift my top eyelid, including my lashes, up. I slide the contact up under my eyelid as far as I can. Once it's about halfway up, I hold it in place and pull my lower eyelid down, and it just pops in. If you're not used to putting contacts in or your eyes are extremely sensitive, you may want to close your eyes for a few seconds after you get the contact in your eye. I'm using bareMinerals Prime Time Foundation Primer just to get a base for my foundation. And for foundation, I'm using L'Oreal Paris's Infallible Pro Matte in the 102 Shell Beige. Because I want to look very, very light, I'm using the Tarte Shape Tape in Fair. To set it, I'm using the Urban Decay, the Velvetizer. Using Urban Decay's Blackout eyeshadow and JH05, I will be applying contour. Using another Urban Decay eyeshadow, Zephyr, and JH07, I'm going underneath that black contour to lighten it up. Going back in with Blackout, I'm just contouring my forehead and going under my jawline. Using J30, I'm going back in with Blackout and smoking out my eyes. I'm going quite far down on my lower lid, kind of where the bags of your eyes would end or your cheekbone begins. Using Urban Decay's 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in Oil Slick, I'm going all along my waterline just to really darken it, especially where I have the black contacts in. I want to blend that black all the way through. I still noticed a kind of halo around my eyes, so I'm going back in with that Blackout and JH43 to darken right around my eyes. I decided to fully darken my lids too and make them a little more blunt instead of blended. I gave my brows a little bit more definition with the Anastasia Beverly Hills in Taupe, and for lips I'm using Jeffree Star's Medusa. The Host of Lashes in Sephora Lash Story Pro Edition, I'm using the Iconic lashes and my Velour lash adhesive in white. To blend my lashes into the falsies, I'm using MAC Extended Play Gigablack Lash. I'm using the same mascara for my lower lashes as well. For highlight, I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Nicole Geurriero Glow Kit and the color Forever Lit. Applying this with the JH09. Using the JH38, I'm applying this to the inner corners of my eyes and on my brow bone. Using my Sephora Blackhead Remover Tool and liquid latex from Spirit Halloween, I'm going to be applying some teardrops. I'm using the same tool to pick up some Too Faced Glamour Dust in Starry Night and just applying that right to the liquid latex. I'm going to set my look so far with the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. Taking an old beauty blender, I'm going to cut up and rip off the end to give me a flat, uneven surface to apply the liquid latex. I'm first applying the bottom layer of liquid latex in an upside down cross form. Ripping up a cotton pad, I am applying very, very small amounts in small pieces to this first layer of liquid latex. I am then going over it in another layer of liquid latex. Taking my tool, I'm beginning to shape my head wound by pressing the sides to even it out into my skin and going down the center to create the middle of the cut. I then took a pair of tweezers and did the exact same thing, just using a more flat edge to really blend it into the skin. Now I'm going to let that dry. Going back in with my tool in another layer of liquid latex, I'm going to deepen the wound. You want to make sure you're flattening towards the outside and making a ridge on the inside so that it looks like a real wound. I am very particular, so this took me quite a long time to get it exactly how I wanted it. While I wait for this layer to dry, I am contouring my neck with that same Urban Decay Blackout color. I'm also going along my collarbones, both on top and on bottom. And again, going back in with the Forever Lit from this palette to highlight those collarbones. It still didn't feel quite dry enough, so I changed into my costume top and continued to contour my chest. It almost looks like I have boobs now. It feels pretty dry now, so I'm going to start with the same foundation I used for my face. You want to apply this all over, getting into all the cracks so that it looks like your face. You want it to really blend in. Setting that with the Velvetizer powder. Using my Luxie small angle brush, I'm going to apply Jeffree Star's Unicorn Blood. This is going into the base of the cut. Going back in with that same brush, I'm using the Urban Decay Naked Heat palette and the colors Ashes and Infugo. First, using the color Ashes, I'm going along the outer edge of the cut itself, right on the inside. Then to add irritation and bruising, I'm using a Lottie London brush and just patting both of those colors around the outside of the wound. This is the part that really pulls the whole wound together and makes it more realistic. Then taking my damp beauty blender, I'm just pressing this into the skin. This step is important because it makes it look like the bruising is coming from within and under the skin. I'm just using a little bit more unicorn blood to make sure that none of that redness got removed. Now, using a little bit of powder blood from Spirit Halloween and a glass of water, I'm going to mix a little bit of product in with that water, and it creates almost a scab-like goopy consistency. I'm putting this in the base of my cut just to give it a little more texture. To finish off my cut, I'm using Vampire Blood by Spirit Halloween, and I'm just dripping this into it and letting it ooze down the wound. If you get anywhere you don't want it, just wipe it away with a little bit of cotton pad. Try not to get too carried away because it will stain a little bit. To be more precise, I'm using that tool again just to add a little bit at a time. I wanted some of the blood to drip down my face, so using that tool I just pulled a little bit of the blood and made a path for it to follow. I was really getting into the creepy vibe, but I do not recommend eating it. Well guys, this is the finished look. The reason it took me so long to get this Halloween video up was because I was waiting on the contacts. It proves super difficult to get them in Canada if you want ones that are safe. Make sure that if you are using special effects contacts, you are making sure that you have a proper prescription from an eye doctor and you're not going to hurt your eyes by using them. Lenses come in all different shapes and sizes, as do your eyes, so it's not a one size fits all like most would believe. So be very careful when purchasing special effects contacts because you don't want to damage your eyes. There's been cases of people going blind, and that's definitely something you don't want for just a night out. It's not worth the risk. So if you do want to get a look like this, make sure you're going to a reputable brand and or going to your eye doctor and making sure they fit you properly, they're not irritating your eyes. You want to be safe. Bloody, not blind on Halloween. I hope you enjoyed this look. It is my take on a succubus demon. Had to go a little bit of glam, a little bit of glitter because it's just me. Matches my nails that I just get done today. Thanks for tuning in again, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye guys. I'm gonna have fun editing this one. I want to make it all creepy. And yes, I did lick the blood and no, it doesn't taste good. I don't even want to take it off. Look at this mess I have to clean up. Blood, liquid latex. Friggin' mess.